Okay, so for my 22 subscribers, I'm going to just put this down real quick because I think it's important I say it. I say it first. And I don't look the greatest, but this is the light behind me. So I should actually change the title of this, which I am. And I have the answer to what is love. Okay. Love is a word and a term that I believe is used too loosely. It's a term. Love is a term that is used loosely. So here's the answer, okay? And make sure I get the credit for it because I am not financially compromised, but if you knew what my income was and who I am and that I'm all on my own, you'd want me to get the credit. Or at least if you had a heart and a soul and a brain, you'd want me to get the credit. So I spent a long time, a lifetime devoted to love and what love is and whatever, finding out why my relationship is. So love is, okay, ready? Love is attending to another person's emotional state. Attending to the emotional state of another human being. Okay, I didn't say it right at first. So, love is attending to the emotional state of another human being. Okay, so this is going to probably be a long video because I'm going to break it down. It could be love is tending to the emotional state of another human being, or love is caretaking the emotional state of another human being. But I specifically am saying love is attending to the emotional state of another human being. It's very specific. I mean, those two other ways can be used, but you see, I have to say it like that because I've dealt with a deranged individual that was masterful at pretending, con artist, manipulator, whatever it is. And these people that have these patterns of behavior, personality disorder, character disorder, will have you convinced, somebody that, like myself, that approached the relationship with an honest heart, me coming from a damaged situation, my childhood to begin with, not knowing exactly that red flags were to be heeded and called upon. So in dealing with these types of people, like my former spouse was, I'd have to do mental gymnastics. Mental gymnastics meaning that, if I said a state, if, that's another word I don't really like to use, when or because, if should just be used for acting class. If you're an actor or a performer, or, like myself, who's had experience with, there's a technique called what if. And it's kind of funny because the what if technique really is for people that have not had life experiences, really. That's why they have to use the if. However, in real life, if should not be used. For example, if someone says, well, if you're going to talk to me like that, there's no if. It's because you are talking to me like that, or when you talk to me like that. All right. Because the if makes makes it so that the future, that the present hasn't actually happened. So if someone says, if you're going to talk to me like that means they weren't already talked to like that. You see, semantics and words are extremely important. And the reason why we have so many words in the English language is because human beings from the beginning of time have sought to understand one another. And so to fine tune exactly what it is, um, then lots of words have been created, which actually brings another piece of information to mind that I wanted to share today, which was the word emotion. It wasn't even in the Bible, okay, and wasn't even in Shakespeare's literature. So even, Shakespeare was 1600. He invented and created so many words that are now in our English language, and the word emotion wasn't even there. And I don't even know where the word the origin of the word, not the origin, but when the word emotion came into play, probably Freud. So it's a recent word, and a word that has a lot to do with what has to go, what entails part of love, okay? And because the Bible and even Shakespeare didn't have it, they were bending over backwards. There is even, in the Bible, what is love? Love is patient, love is kind, everything around, but not the word emotion. But now we have that word. So love is attending to the emotional state of another human being. All right. So the idea of going back to mental gymnastics, which is what I had to do for 25 years, not knowing I was digging my own grave with this individual pretty much. I'm a cancer survivor. I'm now surviving fibroids. And just a quick update for the people that are looking into fibroid treatment. Sonata, I had that a year ago. So for my fibroids, and I just want to just be really clear that I indeed had fibroids, because I've run into people, even as a cancer survivor, I tell people I had Hodgkin's, and some people, even the other month, somebody said, oh, I had that. I just did like serious, cleansing and macrobiotics, and I got rid of it. I'm thinking, first of all, I'm not even going to venture in this conversation like I used to. That's called the swindling and being roped in, where I would then question the person, because we're not even supposed to defend ourselves, right? That's part of the therapy, is don't defend, like Dr. Romney says. Don't explain. But what somebody would have to do would be to show me your CT scans, your PET scans, your MRIs, that you actually were diagnosed with cancer and that your cancer went away without doing chemo or radiation. All right. So I am a cancer survivor, and I went through 12 rounds of chemo for 6 months back in 2008, 2 years after I married the person that has NPD, was cluster. I'll just say cluster B because all the traits are shared. Okay. And that's another thing, is that when all these people online, YouTube, and even books, countless books I've read, countless videos, they'll talk about, the traits or what to look out for. Here's 7. They'll give a number. Here's 10 things. And you'll be like, well, there's like 3 of those 10. No, it could be any one of those. Just keep in mind, it could be one of those. And not only could it be one of those, but another one could not, the person will definitely do the opposite of what, characteristic number 3 is, or behavior number 3 is. Sometimes they will have empathy. Sometimes they won't, but you don't know what kind of empathy it is. Okay. So whatever it is, the red flag. So anyway, I just wanted to circle back for the sonata people. I have my report of my MRI before I went into the sonata treatment. Uterus enlarged, approximately 20 uterine fibroids, predominantly intramural in distribution. All right, so then they go into the 4 dominant fibroids and how big they are and were. So 4.7 centimeters by 2.1 by 1.8. Second fibroid, 6.2 centimeters by 5.2 by 4.7. Third fibroid, 2.9 centimeters by 3.1 by 2.6. And they just listed 3. Ovaries were normal. Why didn't they list the 4 dominant? 2, 3. I don't know what happened to the other one. But posterior right, posterior lower. So obviously I'm reading medical documents, and I don't have the technological savvy to upload what this looks like. Okay. So I would say for the sonata people, now just to make this quick, it's already 11 minutes. Now I'm in 12 months, my 12th cycle after sonata. I'm 51 years old. So I don't know if I was a true candidate for this. I don't know if I think their clinical trials, they didn't track anybody my age. It was all younger people. Even though if you look at some of those videos, they look older than me, okay? This is the havoc that women have gone through. And if you watch my last video, I basically say towards the end, which nobody has said and will ever say except for me, is in terms of the body keeps the score, read that book, The Body Keeps the Score by Bessel van Wilkirk. Even though the title says it all, your body's the last stop, just like my cancer was the last stop for my body. If you don't listen to your mind, your emotions tell you. All right? Your mind is what says something's up. This is not right. Yeah, you could feel this from the beginning, and then you working against your mind. You don't listen to your mind, then your emotions tell you, right? Emotions, you're nervous, you're crying, you're unhappy, you're confused, constantly, you're agitated, you're questioning, you're not getting answers. You don't listen to those. I cried for 25 years and didn't listen to that and extract the cause, which was my former spouse. I didn't listen to that. Then your body tells your body's last stop. So then I got cancer. And then even, 12, 13 years afterwards, I still hadn't exited the relationship because my idea of love was misinformed. Okay. So a lot of this is someone being misinformed. That's why they say if you listen to R.C. Blakes, you could have, the smartest people in the world could fall into these situations and this horrible with these horrible people, who don't seem horrible. You want to give people the benefit of the doubt. I remember reading an ADHD in marriage book years ago, and this one lady was like, well, you give people the benefit of the doubt. And no, that's not what we're supposed to do over and over and over again. The benefit of the doubt over and over and over again means that you're questioning your own sanity, okay, which is the ultimate red flag. If you get to questioning your own mind and your own feelings and questioning the rightness of what you know yourself to be, then that person's not for you. End of story. You got to give it up. You got to go through withdrawal. All right. So circling back, you're not supposed to continue on. And in a relationship is a romantic relationship, an interest. You're having sex with the person, you're laying with the person. Okay, so there I am, here I am, fibroids up the wazoo, you know, having been pounded away. And pounding away on the other person, that doesn't mean just because I'm being pounded on, I've asked to be pounded on. you know that's how it works. But knowing full well that something's off, something's wrong, it was never right sexually, it was really off. I was always unhappy before the act, during the act, after the act, this grave unhappiness, and always uh, with the aim and the goal of, this can be fixed, this can be better, this can be this. It's all, that's where evil operates. So you know what? I didn't listen to my mind, didn't listen to my emotions. The body told me. So now I got the fibroids, right? So I would say 12 months out of sonata. I just had my 12, so I'm down to 10 days bleeding. Thank God. I would say after my 5th cycle, I have no more pain. So, I mean, like maybe like light pain, like maybe I'll take like one Advil because I'm being a little groggy, or, I'm feeling slow. But I can't tell you the pain I had, what I was enduring, 3-4 days bedridden, writhing in bed. Advil wouldn't even work. Just having to stay bedridden, and the nausea, and the vertigo, and that all came along with that debilitating, awful pain. Um, so I don't have that anymore. Unbelievable after the 6th cycle. But now it's like managing the blood. And I would say the blood, there's two things. There's blood that lasts, the blood which lasts a long time, and then there's the amount of blood on the heavy days within those 10 days now. So I think before I had the treatment, I was going up to 14 to 17 days long periods, okay, with the debilitating pain and all that. And the effects of the treatment are incremental. So it's as if like I built up to those 17 long days, and now it's like going in reverse very, very slowly. So now I'm down to 10 days. So that's why the idea of having to be patient and waiting and seeing, because my God, when you reach 51 years old, you don't want to be dealing with this. Like, you're done with childbearing. I have no children, which is part of the mind fuck, basically. And I mean, I'm fortunate and unfortunate at the same time, because being aligned with this individual, I lost out on a lot of things that life offers. But it's who knows, it's a blessing or not a blessing that I never, it's a blessing that I never had children with him. That's all I have to say about that. But the fact that I've been, I missed out on a piece of life, or potential piece of life, but that's not important so much to me. But perhaps it's important to other people. But if it was so important to other people in this similar type of relationship would have gotten out. But I didn't, because I never wanted to have children. But then again, depending upon the person, I may have, especially because if with another person and there was actual love. Okay, so going back to love now. Love is attending to the emotional state of another human being. Okay, so my NPD, BPD, sociopath, former spouse could have said, I give you attention. I care. Okay, so to address that, you know what? I don't even want to address that, but I will address it in the way I explain what love is, by taking apart statement that I made, which when you take that statement and apply it to all the times you hear people saying the word love, you could either validate that person's use of the word love or dismiss it. And it's standing the test of time. I think I thought about this about 8 months ago. I came up with it because I think before then I had come up with love as a system of values and integrity, which is valid. And you can apply love is attending to the emotional state of another human being. So for love to happen, it's two people, okay? And all those ancient Greek, Roman, whatever it is, I think ancient Greek is the agape, right? Those fall within what I'm saying as well. Okay, so love is attending to the emotional state of another human being, is what a parent can have for a child, what you have for your fellow man. And then it is present with another person, all right, when you come to find a mate or a couple, when there is that plus the romantic interest. So romantic interest without the attending to the emotional state of another human being, it's not love then. They have to be both that and romantic interest has to be present for it to be love, right? Now, getting into, because that word love is so used loosely, we had to come up with the word true love. Well, true love is applied for when there is a romantic interest, but in my opinion, with my assessment, it's not even opinion, it's like fact to me. With my assessment, you can use that with familial love, friendship love as well. Okay, I lost my train of thought now. Okay, so this is why when you look at the way people say the word love, or if they bastardize the use of it or misuse it, you can tell that they are either manipulating the emotions or not addressing the emotions, because what is completely related to this is the idea that God, it's simple. God is love, right? You've heard that. Love is, so then what is love? Love is part of the emotional realm, right? So God deals with the emotions. That's why they say, and I put this in my play in a sheer delight, one of the opening lines is the best things in life are free, right? You know that expression? Well, and I say, well, so are the worst things. Because here you have God is of the emotions, what gives us the desire, and joy and zest for life. Those are all like emotional feeling words. You see how this works? Well, the devil wants to take that away. So you have God and the devil. And if you don't believe in God or the devil, then don't use the term, don't use the terms, this person still has to face their demons. That's, or so-and-so face their demons. Okay, you see how that works? We can seem to say those things, but we can't actually say the devil or evil. Well, I say it all. I say, I believe in everything. There are people that believe in nothing, and I believe in everything. And so everything is here for a reason, and we can incorporate it all. Okay, and evil wants to confuse us, which a long time ago, I made this enormous list. I was looking up, and trying to help my situation with my partner, me doing like tons and tons of work. But getting smarter and getting wiser and getting wise. to it. You see how that works? I had looked into Marshall, I forget his last name, but he's no longer with us on the planet. I think no, I don't want to say his last name just in case I don't remember, right? Nonviolent communication, right? And I didn't really like that idea of the word violent. It comes from a violent place. Like, that's like the baseline. There's violence here. But I did take a lot of those words, and, he kind of broke it down when feelings when needs are not met or satisfied, right? And then feelings when needs are satisfied. So feelings are emotions. Feelings are the words that describe emotions, right? Feelings are the words that describe emotions, their sensibility. And I think I may have touched on this in another video, but the idea that when people say go with your gut or your instinct, well, people like me back in the day, I was so misled and misguided by my evil parents and upbringing and the evil that was upon them that was, though they were there, those gut instinct feelings were there, they were ignored. Okay, so for people like me, if you are somebody that was like me, that dismissed feelings or sensations or nervous tension in the body, that's exactly what needs to be attended to. Okay, so the attending, again, that word attending to the emotional state of another human being, that's love. There takes two people, just like Jesus said, the Ten Commandments say, love the Lord your God with all your heart. So when you're attending to your own emotional state and you know how to do it for yourself, then you're capable to share that with another person. That whole idea that another phrase is, you're going to find love, or, so-and-so found love with another person. No, we don't find love. We have love, and we find someone to share love with. It's like what we have inside. So what we need to do, and what people like me and people worse off and people in general, is cultivate that love within us, right? So that we have it within us. We're cultivating it. Now, some people in this world, we all are on different levels in life. Some people have already a great capacity to love, and love meaning they are in touch with their emotional state and then can attend to the emotional state of another human being, right? They have a great capacity to do that because of what was passed down to them and their upbringing and how their parents treated them or caregivers treated them, right? And sometimes they say it only takes one person while somebody's growing up, and it's probably true, to show that love, attention, attending to. I lost my train of thought again. But so where was I going with this? Nobody's writing into me. Nobody's even listening. It's okay. Putting it out there. Somebody will come across it that needs it. Yeah. So love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind. That is what is the process of being with yourself. All right. And then it's love your neighbor as thyself. If nobody's working on this, attending to the emotional state of your emotions, getting to know, then you can't share that with another person, right? So that's what my former spouse was. He did not have the capacity to even know, to look, the awareness. I could tell him this stuff, he could take in the information, but the actual doing of it and attending to it, recognizing that anger was was an indication to attend to what is going on inside, right? And not seek externally, to seek internally. I've been watching a bunch of Tim Fletcher too. You check out his YouTube channel again. Patrick Teahan, again, Romani. All these and R.C. Blake's, Stefan Speaks. The Women of Impact. These are people that have great, not only their own words, but guests on that are taking all this apart. But nobody is saying what I just said. Love is attending to the emotional state of another human being. And attending meaning comforting, taking into consideration, soothing. These are all actions that are required and necessary to happen between caregiver and child, for the child to then be able to then self-regulate and begin to have that discipline within themselves. Because once they have it within themselves, then they can, if they want, find someone to share that love with. So to be in love with somebody is that they're showing up for you in the way you need them to show up for you, in that they are not only attending to the emotional state, your emotional state, when called upon, or even when not called upon. They're turning even your attention to your own emotional state. And it's reciprocal. There's a reciprocity and a mutuality in that process. So that's, and there's a romantic interest. So that's what it means to be in love with somebody. All right. There's a romanticness to that person. And, same sex, opposite sex, whatever it is. I'm into the opposite sex. However, my statement goes for anyone. I mean, how easy is this? I have the answer, right? So I want to go back to these feeling lists that I had created. This is an Excel, now it's a number spreadsheet. I have the feelings list sorted. Feelings when needs are not met or satisfied, or how to be or feel, or what to do when you'd like to create and your partner the feeling that their needs are not being met. So that's an elicitation of anger, hurt, sadness, depression, victimization, confusion, helplessness, vulnerability in having them exposed and hurting them, damaged, afraid, fear, disquiet, tired, anxious. Just, when I think of time, I was so exhausted with my former spouse for every day, every second, every hour for 25 years, even like while I slept. And he was with me too, but he came like that to me. And then it just like intensified with us. And then it like spread, because you have to understand, evil wants to spread. Okay. It takes over. It's extremely strong. And these are all the feelings and the states of evil. All right. And then there's feelings when needs are met or satisfied. Look at this. This is the opposite. And I like to work with opposites: happy, open, alive, good, loving. And these are just columns. Underneath, like the word loving, I have the words admiration, affectionate, attracted, caring, connection, considerate, cuddly, devoted. Again, the word love: passionate, sensitive, tender, warmth, touched, sympathy, close, comforted, drawn towards, compassionate, fond, open-hearted, friendly. So if you're interested, I could somehow share this list. but maybe I'd want some money for it. I'm giving you the good stuff. You could figure the rest of this stuff out. So that's, going on with the feelings when needs are met: interested, attractive, relaxed, caring, smart, thankful, cared for, acceptable, positive, strong. So look at that. The opposite, which I just read, is just awful, right? And then there was like the needs inventory. I mean, this is sorting and adding and to that Marshall guy, the nonviolent communication. Anyway, maybe I'll keep this short. I would say, as I continue, this is probably my second or third year out living on my own without the daily bombardment of just absolute havoc. I think I may have touched on another video. Well, chaos is good. If I said the word chaos, well, chaos is good. Let me revise that, okay? For the mofos out there that come at me with that, that's evil. Okay, somebody that's seeking not to understand. Just like I think was it St. Thomas Aquinas or the Beatitudes? Seek to understand. Don't seek to be, no, seek not to be understood, but to understand, right? So when somebody's coming at you with a rebuttal, indication, stay away. You want people near you that agree with you, fine tune, are interested in fine tuning what you're saying and doing and what you're about. Then you'll get the people, well, it's not exciting. You don't create anything, or there's no, what's the point of, the whole other thing of like, it's even in the Bible of, it's easy to be friends with your friend. Okay, yeah, but grain of salt it, to a certain extent. If they don't get the message, you you brush off the dust and move on. You don't just sit there, keep taking it. Oh my God, I don't know, my face, this light is so horrible. I should put a different light on myself. But that's not my point. Is to share this wisdom. The idea is now for me to put into practice. I could remain single, my celibate. What is single? But single should only be celibate, really. If you're not single, if you're dating, that's not being single anymore. Okay, they say you're just not married. If somebody's still like bouncing around with all kinds of people, you're not single. All right. But if I were to remain celibate for the rest of my life, I would continue to fine tune myself. But yes, the idea is practicing this wisdom now, right? And but it's important to have the wisdom first. That's why they say people go from relationship to relationship, never get any better. Well, they're not doing the work. The work is this immersion. People call it a deep dive, but it's an immersion into the interest of love. And the idea of no one can come to the Father unless they draw him. Well, yeah, you're drawn to the love and wanting to learn about it, wanting to learn about yourself and how do you attend to the emotional state of another human, to broaden your capacity, because then you find someone on your level that has the same capacity, so that there can be a mutuality in the process. Not that people are unevenly yoked. Right? You need two people on the same page, working in the same manner. And the effect, that you're on the same page is when you feel relief, abundance, invigoration, joy, all right? Energized. Those are all the positive things. When you're working on it with somebody that's the wrong person, you will feel depleted, used, exhausted. And the longer you stay in that that mode with that person, it's going to take a toll on your body like it did on mine. So maybe I'll just keep it like that. I think that's what I wanted to share this time. And I'll change the subject. I have the answer. Even though I'm not very attractive right now. I could do better. I could be better. It's the lighting. Lighting is everything. All right, my friends. Nobody watched. Nobody will watch my 22 subscribers, but maybe one day. Let me, it's so good to have a response, knowing that this information may have helped somebody. Otherwise, I'm just a solo act, which is what I am, and that's okay. Keep working on myself. What did the saints do? They were single, right? And they worked on themselves. I tell people, that come at me with, oh, it's so much work, blah, blah, blah. Well, look at the saints. They stayed single all their lives, and they had a grand capacity for their wisdom and knowledge, and they kept working on it. So imagine that even the saints kept working, even the Thich Nhat Hanh kept working. These people that are, they call them holy, that are protective of what love is and their wisdom, because even words are sacred, right? In my opinion, I mean, we should be that thankful that we have words to be able to communicate, that they're sacred. So what we say should be held with high regard. The word choices that we use, held with high regard. We are human beings, right? So we want to operate at the max capacity as we were designed to operate at the max capacity. So even the saints kept searching and looking to improve themselves and, pass on their wisdom. And the great holy people of this day. Not everyone is equipped to share that information. Some of them were like hermits or cloistered, and then some were very messed up, obviously. But the ones that impart their information, you know it when you hear it and you see it, words of Mother Teresa or Maya Angelou. Why do we love that wisdom so much? Is because they had done so much excavating of themselves, of human nature. All right. Anyway, I'll leave you with that. I am an angel warrior. I'm a warrior, but an angel warrior. Okay. And I hope you are one too. And if not, that you will be, because love needs protection. And we have to understand what love is to be able to protect it. Have a good night.